Hello, 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 everyone. Welcome to the stream on a Tuesday night. So we're here with 3Dub in the
Hello.
building. 3Dub's here with us. We'll see if anybody else shows up. I sent out the link as usual, so you guys know there's no telling who's going to come in. So we'll see who shows up. But we have a few things to talk about tonight. I don't know if it's going to be a long night or not. We'll see how the chat goes. But yeah, I'm pretty excited to watch the new. I haven't seen it yet. The new Jurassic World trailer dropped. So I haven't watched it. We'll watch that. What else? Oh, I don't know what that was. Oh, it's the light. Okay. All right. I had a box. So by the way, the next time you guys watch me live on Thursday, this whole setup is going to be different.
Wow. That's
So
a lot of work.
There's stuff on the floor everywhere, and that's why I kicked the light. But it's going to be completely different. So get ready because you're like, okay, so I'll give you guys an idea of what's happening. This desk is moving about 7 feet that way. And then we're going to be redesigning the whole back of the room. So it's going to be a complete overhaul in here. So yeah, and that's thanks to you guys, because you guys have been so generous with super chats and stuff. We're going to do some redesigning with some of that money. I like to put all that money back into the channel. So we got a lot of things we're going to be doing in here. So I'm pretty excited. Anyway, also look in the corner down there. Do you see that?
The blue light?
No. Am I the only one seeing that?
Oh, the text?
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, actually, I was like, that's weird.
That's pretty cool. So I normally have it here next to me, but now I don't think I might not need it anymore, because now when you guys chat in the chat, it comes up on the screen. So I don't have to pull up all the comments if we're responding to something. People will be able to see it on playback and all of that. Of course, I'll still highlight comments when I need to and super chats and stuff. But like the fact that that's on the screen now is awesome, because a lot of times when we edit the videos, like if I have to take a trailer out or something like that, the chat goes away. You guys know this. Mm-hmm. So if you come back, you know, you've been doing stuff, you don't have a lot of time, you come back to the show later and you look and the chat is gone because we had to chop out a part of the video. So yeah.
Now I can have it full screen now instead of,
Oh, that's right, you can.
Yep.
That's pretty cool. I didn't think about that, but you're right. Yeah, you can do full screen now and just like let it, not even have to worry about looking at anything because the chat just pops up on the screen. I think that's a great addition. I don't think I can move it though. I think it's kind of stuck where it is for now. Yeah, I can't move it. But yeah, so it is what it is. But that's pretty cool. I think that's pretty interesting. So what I'll probably do is I'll go into the into my Streamlabs and remove the chat from beside me because I don't really need it now. That was the only reason I did this, was so that it was preserved. But
the way you like show where it's at.
yeah, 100%. Anyway, so yeah, we've got a few things tonight. There's a trailer for Jurassic World we're going to watch. We're going to talk about the Galactus design that dropped yesterday, I think is when I first saw it. I think it came out yesterday, maybe Monday, or no, yesterday was Monday because it's Tuesday. So yeah, it dropped yesterday. So we're going to take a look at that. That should be fun. And see if there's any other stuff to talk about. There's a few different like things that I bookmarked that we'll go over. And I think was there another trailer that came out? I think another trailer came out, but I don't remember what it was. Hold on. Let me double check here. Let's see. I think I remember seeing something that I wanted to check out.
I am seeing...
the It prequel trailer, Welcome to Derry.
I am seeing Leo and Stitch Thursday.
So that's pretty cool. You might watch that one. So, you're going to see that on Thursday?
Yeah. In IMAX 3D.
Oh, wow. Mm-hmm. It's all sold out where I am. Like we were gonna take my niece to go see it, but it's sold out. So
me and my dad basically were like, we're not going to see it at Regal. We're going to AMC.
Oh,
we're going to splurge. He's paying for it though, so I mean,
if Nerdcast happened yesterday, Darren could have done 3 live streams in a row. He live streamed 3 times or 2 times yesterday.
Yeah, he took over Party Nation today.
Oh, really?
Yeah, he's also taking over next week.
Is Lance not around?
Lance was slow driving. Basically, he was backed up on deliveries, so he was late. And I was at an appointment.
Have you ever ran Party Nation before?
Yeah, once. I don't like it. I'm more of a sidekick.
Who's the regular people on Party Nation now? Like, who are the regular guests?
There's Lance, Darren, Taj. I forget this one guy, but Omega. There's Phil. There's also Devin, Darren. No, not. There's another guy with a name with the first name starts with a D. I just can't remember him. Right now at the top of my head, and then there's Chainsaw. He comes in when he wants to, and that's pretty much it.
I'm trying to see if the overlay shows up on YouTube, and it does. So it's not just in our.
Ronan, that's the other guy. Ronan and Jake. Thank you.
Yeah, so that's.
I'm tired.
Yeah, it looks like both channels show up, right? So Reloaded and Debunked show up into the chat. So it's all one chat.
Wow.
That's actually really, really cool. This is a really nice change. I wish I could resize it or move it around a little bit.
I think you can move us up.
Yeah, I can move where we are, but I'd like to be able to move the chat. Like, what I would do with the chat if I could is like put us over on one side and make the chat one side, and then put the screen in the middle. Like, just in the middle, so we were always off to the side. But the chat's a little smaller than that. But you know what? It's fine. It's fine. I'm glad they added it. Look, I'm not upset at all. I think it's a really great addition. Anyway, yeah, there was some drama on Twitter.
When isn't there drama on Twitter?
Yeah, but this was weird because at one point, and I haven't watched his channel in forever, so I don't even know what he's doing anymore. But you know the guy Gore, what is it?
Gore the movie
god. Yeah. So I only met him one time, and I think it was on one of Chainsaw's streams. And so we followed each other on Twitter. I had never really had much negative interaction with him, but I know that, you know, he has some takes that I don't agree with. But we've never gone back and forth about anything. And the other day I was like reading through his tweets or whatever, and he was like talking shit about someone. I don't know who it was because I don't think he wasn't saying names. And it was like this vague stuff, like tweeting against people. And then next thing I know, he had unfollowed me on Twitter. I don't give a fuck about unfollows, by the way. So it's not really that big a deal, but it just seemed, excuse me. It just seemed a little weird because we had never had any negative back and forth. So I was like, what's going on? And to be fair, like, we don't talk much. So it wasn't like, let me reach out to him and ask him why. Because again, it's not a big deal. The only reason I'm bringing it up is it's weird. It's weird because it was just like overnight, he just unfollowed me, and I guess he unfollowed a bunch of other people.
And I think he's unfollowing everyone that's connected to Chainsaw. Luckily, I don't have a problem.
Wait, say that again?
I think he's unfollowing people that's connected to Chainsaw. Like with Council and all that. Like anyone that guest stars.
Well, I was only on there one time.
Well,
that was like 2 years ago.
You probably watched something and was like, "Oh, you're on Council. Bye."
Maybe that's a little weird. So he's just going through and unfollowing people that just happen to know someone he doesn't like.
I don't know the reasoning, so I'm just.
Oh, I thought you knew something. That's why you're saying that.
No. That was his original thought. Like he basically started doing that with Draven, and finally I remembered his name, Draven. That's the one I was trying to remember who was on Party Nation. But anyways, he had a problem with Draven on Council of Creators, and like just like from that it just escalated. So he's been unfollowing, driving a wedge
Okay,
between people.
let me follow this back to the path of origin. So, you're saying that Draven and Gore didn't get along. That was the beginning of all this.
Yeah, that was the beginning of it. Yeah.
And then everything else unraveled after that.
Yep, escalated.
Silhouette says, I feel like maybe Gore took a hit in the ego and said, screw anyone in Chainsaw Circle is probably my best guess. Oh, Jake is here. What's up, Jake? Yep. How are you?
What's up? Yeah, I saw you guys talking about the elephant in the room.
So I don't know anything. Look, I'm so out of the loop with this because, like, I'm not a regular on council, but I do know who Gore is. But again, I've never had a negative interaction with him. To be fair, I haven't really had much interaction with him, but we followed each other on Twitter, and I would go through and like his tweets or, respond to something he posted. So nothing ever like negative or whatnot. And then today I noticed that he posted something shady and said, something about if I unfollowed you because you're posting, I don't remember what it was, but it was something about what people are posting. And I'm like, I barely post on Twitter. So that can't be the reason he unfollowed me because I don't really post on there. So I was like, what the fuck is going on?
I don't want to go into the whole thing of this now, like, because
I don't want to put you on the spot if you don't feel comfortable talking about it.
It's fine. Like, I don't have an issue talking about it. I mean, long story short, there were disagreements, and then if I am going to go on record as saying he handled it very, very poorly, and now has resulted to just taking pot shots at people on both council and Party Nation, and has got a little bit of a bloated ego and just seems to want both of those to fail now that he's no longer on them.
Okay.
That's like the short way I can say that.
Okay. And it also it's not a lot of harm to different individual people, which I appreciate, because like you start calling out names, people get like hurt about it, and then everything starts to spiral at that point.
Yeah. That's why I left specific names out.
Yeah. I don't know. I'm under this weird place on the internet where I sometimes see people say and do things, and it reminds me of high school. Like it reminds me of like high school drama. And I get it. If someone has done something so bad to you that you feel like you have to step away from something or you need to like not interact with them, I'm totally on board with that. But once it starts getting to the point where it's just like crazy interpersonal issues with anybody that even came in contact with that person, it becomes like a cliquey thing in high school. And I'm not down for that. Like I will go on anybody's stream and talk to anybody. And if say, for example, Jake, you were friends with somebody that I didn't like, but you never held me to any sort of standard because you were friends with that person, I'm not going to be like, well, fuck Jake. You know what I mean? I'm not going to do that.
Right. And like it's the same sort of thing, like me towards you too.
Yeah. So that's the way I feel. As long as somebody's treated me okay, and they haven't done something irreparably harmful to someone that I care about, then I'm not going to go back and forth on the internet about it with them. I feel like that's really stupid. So that's why I'm kind of out of the loop about all of it. But to be like hitting collateral damage by something that I had nothing to do with is so weird. It's just really weird.
You were like you just saw that tweet, or like you were asked about it?
No. So like I said, we only ever interacted casually in tweets. That's it. I didn't know him. We didn't DM. We weren't in Discords together or anything like that. But I thought he was a cool guy because I'd never heard anyone say otherwise. So I wasn't in the circle with like all the drama and everything like that. So I never thought much about it, right? So I saw Chainsaw post something, and I haven't been on Twitter pretty much since yesterday. So everything I've tweeted has been stuff that's been sent to me. So I'm not really on Twitter or anything. But I saw this, I think it was yesterday, that Chainsaw posted something a little bit vague. And if somebody posts something vague, I don't usually ask questions. I'm like, okay, if it's important enough, they'll talk about it. So I just let it go. But then I saw Gore respond with something vague, and I'm like, okay, what the fuck is happening? And then I saw the tweet about unfollowing people, and then I noticed I was unfollowed, and I'm like, what happened? So I didn't even bother to ask Gore. The only reason I brought it up is because it just seemed kind of crazy to me, considering that Gore and Chainsaw at one point were streaming together regularly, and I knew that he hadn't been on council in like months. So I knew that had happened, but I didn't realize it was at the point where people were fighting like that. Like I just didn't realize it had reached that level.
Well, like you said, it was just a bunch of high school bullshit that just went too far.
Oh, well, then that tracks. My assessment of the situation was had tracked or not. But anyway, I need to hit Chainsaw up sometime. I'd like to go back and jump on stream with him sometime, or possibly have him jump on with us at some point. So
Anyway,
whatever. He's a busy guy, so I don't know when he has time to do anything. I know that he spoke at one time like he was working so much he couldn't even like make time for council at one point. So I don't know what his schedule's like, but.
And anyway, happy topics.
Yes, of course.
Love that shirt, by the way.
Oh, mine? Oh, thank you. Thank you. Yeah. No, we were about to jump into it. We got some trailers to look at today. I know Darren's got to work in the morning, so I know he's not coming on. At least that's what he said, but he said that last time, and then he still showed up. So we'll see if he shows up in the stream.
Yeah.
But yeah, so he'll be on. We're going to look at trailer for Jurassic World Rebirth, which I haven't seen yet. The It prequel trailer for Welcome to Derry. Are either of you guys fans of the It series at all? The movies and the previous movies and
I can't put my finger on it.
Not particularly. No.
Okay, we might watch that if we have time. That'll be the last thing we'll look at.
Is
I do
it
want to.
horror?
Yeah, the original It. Yes,
That's probably why.
Yeah. So
And the recent It movies are made by the same guy who directed The Flash.
yeah. So Silhouette said I prefer the Tim Curry version. Well, it's fine. I think that some people just like you get one. Like for example, there's a lot of movies that I like from back in the day that I'd be like, they're to me they're superior to the remakes, but I know not everybody feels that way.
Yeah.
Let's see what else we have. We have the Galactus stuff. There's a lot of online drama about that, and then I bookmarked a lot of little things for us to talk about. So it should be an interesting discussion tonight.
And
of
I
course,
wrote
you guys.
I'm sure, didn't I?
Oh, you were. Well, I think I do have some Superman stuff to talk about, so we might talk about some DC stuff. Like I said, I just bookmarked a bunch of stuff yesterday, and then today I had some tweets sent to me, but I haven't really been on Twitter today, so I'll take a look while we're chatting about stuff and see if there's anything else on there. By the way, the StreamYard, this little chat in the corner is awesome. By the way, I have to say.
Oh,
really
I didn't even see that.
Yeah, 3Dub said now I can maximize the screen to full screen and not have to read the chat on the side. So it's like that's actually pretty good now that you mentioned that. All It movies are horror movies now, as far as I know. That's why I said I think so, because I don't know if there's been any other like branch films connected to it that.
I don't think so. No.
So I do see Metamorpho's son Joey that looks like baby. So that has been confirmed to be Metamorpho's son, baby Joey. I saw the toy. We can look at the toy here. As a matter of fact, let me go over here. I think I have the toy over here. Let me look and see. Baby Joey.
There's a number of toys getting leaked lately for different comic movies coming out.
I've always said that toys. Let me here. We'll share this here.
Toys can often spoil plot points. Of
Absolutely,
movies.
And the problem is they have to get them out before the movie comes out.
Yeah, because they did the same thing. Like, oh, good God. Whew. Oh, that's what that thing is.
Yeah.
Okay.
The little set that had crypto in it, and everybody was like, "What is this little green thing with crypto?"
Yeah, I remember that. Mm-hmm.
Yeah. So this has me concerned just a little bit. Let me tell you why. This character is probably going to be an important character in the movie if they're making this many toys with this character.
Well, I mean, Gunn does have a thing for utilizing green baby characters in his movies.
Baby Yoda is better.
So I wonder, is it possible?
Expression's freaking me out.
Let me just tell you why this is possible for me is because of the fact that it would be kind of interesting for them to do this. What if this is the kaiju?
What, like it evolves into one?
Yes, that the baby turns into the kaiju.
That's not the most far-fetched thing I've heard.
I mean, or it can. Like it has the ability to do that, because we know a lot of people said Metamorpho can't really do that. What if his child can? What if he has the ability to morph into like physical things and not stones or whatever?
Well, have his limits really been established before?
As far as I know, he can't turn into animals and stuff like that, but I don't know if that's ever changed in the comic books or not.
So that
he's not Beast Boy.
So I know animals he can't, but like I believe he could go to like as big of a size as he wanted.
Mm-hmm. But what if, because think about how funny it would be for a baby to turn into a kaiju. That would be pretty hilarious.
It would be something, wouldn't it?
So I think James Gunn might actually do something like that. That's an ugly baby.
It's honey, I blew up the kid.
I mean, maybe. I don't know. Let's see here.
Kind of looks like Baby Piccolo a little bit.
Oh, yeah. That's true.
With like the ears and everything. Now it's missing his little slug-like antennas.
I'm trying to see here if there was... I bookmarked something... Oh, this right here. So these are the updated visual effects for the kaiju. They changed quite a lot of it, actually.
Yeah.
Like the top one is the one we saw originally, and the bottom one is the slightly different one. When I say slightly, I mean like you have to look very closely to see, but once you see it, it's like, oh yeah. First of all, the colors are much better.
Yeah, the colors, there's more detail on the scales too.
Yeah, the horns look more like they look different from the skin. The eyes are not weirdly offset. The nose is actually coming up and out instead of like flat to the head.
It actually looks like the eyes are a little bit darker than the original image too.
Yeah. And the city's changed too. Yeah, look behind them. Like they've also changed the way the city looks.
Why does the fire look different too?
I mean, it's probably all updated. So what I need people to understand, and I'm not talking about people as in people in the chat necessarily, but people that complain about this, is this kind of stuff happens with movies a lot. You know, the early teasers are very, very, very early footage. A lot of it's unfinished. So when you see these people ranting, like Tyrone Magnus, ranting about how bad a trailer looks when you get the first teaser, they're likely not done with all the visual effects, which is why the bottom one looks not only less muted, because it just the overall picture looks different, but it looks more refined. Like it's had a lot more passing on it in terms of like rendering for the creature.
And then, you know, a number of things like they'll put in trailers, you know, for these movies that'll be like early teasers. Then when the film comes out, a lot of that stuff won't be in the movie.
That's true.
Like, I don't know why that's become like a more prominent thing to do in Hollywood recently, but it's just felt like it's been a fad for a while.
Yeah. But I prefer the bottom shot. I think the bottom shot looks a lot better. Yeah. And you know what? I didn't even notice when we watched the trailer. That tells you how good they were at making it work without drawing our eyes to it.
Yeah.
It makes me wonder though. Fast. Yeah, it makes me wonder though if they would have done more if the toys weren't already out.
Right.
Because a lot of people said it looks more like the toys. I feel like the toy was the final version of it, and they must have done that after the one on the top.
I would guess so, yeah.
But now they can't change it again because the toys have been released, so they don't want to like make it too different.
I don't know if this has been shown yet, but I wonder if there's going to be, you know, like those certain Funko Pops that they release that's like the huge ones that are in the boxes that are like this. I wonder if we're going to get this thing in like a large size box like that.
That would be kind of cool.
I saw on Twitter somewhere that, or you know, social media. I think it was Facebook that they had a comparison of Henry Cavill blocking himself with bullets while David Cornsweet is blocking himself with fire, and they're like, "Guess who's stronger?" Because one's blocking themselves with bullets, and the other one's just fire.
Wait, who said this?
Someone on Facebook basically was comparing the two scenes of them covering their face with one's covering their face with bullets, and the other one's blocking with fire. So basically, they're like, who's stronger, Henry Cavill or David Cornsweet? Because he's blocking himself with bullets.
I mean, they're Superman. Both
why does
Superman.
Why does it matter?
The thing is,
right? Exactly,
me,
Jake.
I'm like, why? For me personally, I'm like, why is he even blocking with fire? Isn't he supposed to be like invulnerable to it?
Well, why is he blocking the bullets? I mean, it's
yeah,
the
same thing. Both. I'm like, why is he block? He's supposed to be bulletproof, and he's supposed to be invulnerable to fire. So my question is, why is he blocking? Period.
I feel like sometimes when he does stuff, he does it for the people around him instead of him. Like if he's just standing there like this, and the bullets fly past him, they're going to hit people behind him. But if he's doing this, He's trying to block as much of it as possible. So I don't know if that's necessarily always why he does it, but I feel like sometimes that's why.
Kind of gave me a flashback to Brandon Routh, where he basically did that, and it was bouncing off and hitting everyone.
It could also be that he doesn't want to come off to these people as a god, like just as like a normal person, even though he's far from normal.
Yeah. We also have this here. I saw this the other day. So apparently Amazon Prime is doing early screenings.
Yeah, I
for
did
Superman.
See that.
Apparently the way they're doing it is there'll be like a prompt for you to go sign up, and then you sign up for it, and then you get alerted if you were selected, and you get to watch it early in theaters, not on Prime. Apparently, right? Yeah. It's like Prime has theaters where you can go and watch it on their behalf at a theater near you. Mm-hmm. So it has to be a theater near where you are. You'll have to travel, I guess, to get there.
Yeah, like I imagine the AMCs will probably do that.
Yeah, he did take a bullet to the eyeball. Brandon Ralph did.
Superman has the worst take so far of everything coming out. I mean, people have put this movie under a microscope since it was conceptualized. So,
Bob here, the old ways. Good to see you. Superman isn't totally indestructible, though. Facing a new monster whose powers he doesn't know, it would make sense for him to cover himself. I mean, that's true.
This thing could have a basis in magic for all we know.
Or kryptonite. What if it's got kryptonite powers? We don't know. We have no idea. Anthony says, well, you have to buy the ticket through Amazon just like Batman and Aquaman. Oh, so it's an early screener that you pay for.
Yeah.
Okay. I've only ever had 2 early screeners in my life, and one of them was Shazam.
I had one early screening in my life, and it was X-Men Origins Wolverine. And, get there, see a bunch of bad visual effects. I was like, oh, okay, like they'll probably, touch it up in the final version. See the final version in theater a few weeks later. Wait, it still looks bad. What's going on?
The only early screener I got was somewhere that I don't even live. Basically, they gave me an early screener. It's like, here's the theater, go to it. I'm like, do I look like I live in California? Basically gave me a screener that's not even in my zip code.
Let's see here.
I don't know. I'm just really hoping the movie's good.
I mean, like, I try to go in with the best foot forward, but it's really hard when people spend all their time trying to make you dislike something.
Yeah, and it because like no matter how hard they're campaigning against a certain thing, doesn't mean they're going to get their favorite thing back.
Right. Well, I mean, that's what I've always said is if you are going after DC or Marvel because you prefer another version of it, that doesn't guarantee you're going to get the other version.
Yeah.
What's going to happen is the studio is going to see that people don't want it, and they're just not going to make any of it.
Right. So everybody's going to lose.
What's funny is, as a fan of Superman, I have a hypothesis. I'm gonna walk out of the theater happy. That's my hypothesis.
Someone sent me a video. I can't find it now, but apparently Watch Mojo did like a woke thing or something. Did you guys see that?
No, I didn't. I heard about it, but I didn't see it.
Let's see.
I said just go to YouTube and search up Watch Mojo Woke. You might find it.
I did, but I don't see it.
Oh, they changed the title, apparently.
Oh, did they?
According to the comments.
Okay, so here's what it looked like. This was what it said. 10 reasons why Snow White is already hated with woke in front of it. That was one of them, and they changed it. Apparently.
Did you see the memes of her becoming like Lord Farquaad?
I have seen so many memes of Rachel Zegler that I've become numb to them at some point. Look, I will say this, though. I think if you're getting into the anti-woke stuff now, you're coming in really late. Because this pipeline is drying up on YouTube. A lot of people that have been doing the anti-woke content have had to change what they're doing because it's just not making as much money for them.
Oh,
you don't think that's the video?
It's now titled 10 Movies That Tried Too Hard and Failed.
Oh, so that's a different one. I see it. Never mind. This was the one that was sent to me, but maybe that's... I don't even see that one.
See if I can like.
Oh, wait. Yeah, I see it.
Oh, you get it?
Yeah, I got it.
Okay.
It's the one with Valkyrie on it.
So
yeah, so
what?
here's what it looks like
One of
now.
those movies.
10 movies that tried too hard and failed. They changed it. It was something like 10 movies that went woke and failed, I think is what the title was.
Okay.
But like the anti-woke stuff is drying up everywhere. Like nobody's really clicking on it for that anymore. So what's happening is a lot of channels are getting in on it now, but it's so late in the game.
Yeah, they're trying
that
to
it's an oversaturated market on YouTube.
Yeah, they're trying to bring it back around when it's already gone and passed.
Yeah, they got to find something else. I'm not saying you have to like all of a sudden become progressive or whatever, because I don't know if that's going to work either. But the woke stuff is just drying up. Like I think you have to find a new angle. Yeah. And by the way, Watch Mojo is some of the worst content on YouTube. Just for the record, it's not good. There was a point in time where Watch Mojo and like those kinds of aggregate channels where they did.
Don't tell Tom Holland.
We're good. Well, I mean, I'm not saying that it's not popular. It is, but I mean, like the thing is, there was a time where aggregated content, like top 10 lists, top 5 list videos, those channels blew up because that's what people were coming to YouTube for. But then, just like with the woke thing, it became oversaturated, and now nobody really clicks on it.
I think a lot of people just overuse that term without actually knowing what it's supposed to mean.
Yeah.
Which is sad, but you see terms thrown around like that, and it's like that classic scene from Princess Bride. You keep using that word. I don't think I don't think it means what you think it means.
People that are keeping up with Warner Brothers, S&P downgrades Warner Brothers Discovery to junk status on weak credit metrics.
Damn.
That would get worse if the company splits. So now, if they sell off a portion of the company, they're going to get downgraded even more. And somebody down here asked Croak to answer what this is. Let's click on this. I thought this was funny. Warner Bros. Discovery was downgraded to junk status BB plus by S&P due to weak financials, mainly from a declining linear TV business. And that has a lot to do with how a lot of the things on HBO now get shifted over to HBO Max. So a lot of their originals are just being pushed over to the streaming platform.
Yeah. Which is going through its own whole process of rebranding.
Yeah. We got a debt of $38 billion. Leverage is projected to hit 4.3x as investment grade thresholds. A potential company split into streaming studios with linear networks by mid-2025 could worsen its financial strength. So that's not going to happen. That's definitely no longer on the table.
Nope.
But growth in streaming, Max with 122.3 million subscribers and 2.7 billion revenue in Q1 offers hope. Yeah, but the problem is that's one hand losing for another hand to gain. So the reason why their linear stuff is not working is all of that stuff, right, gets tossed over into the streaming hand, and there's nothing left over here to evaluate. Yeah. There's no HBO exclusive stuff that isn't getting tossed on streaming right away. So they're just at a loss. They don't want to pay for stuff on streaming anymore, like streaming exclusive shows. So they want to share everything, but that's not good for them.
You going to mention the very intellectual person in that reply chain?
Yeah, obviously, because that has nothing to do with what this is about.
Right. It's like it
specifically says linear TV business, so it has nothing to do with their movies.
Right. It's that same group of people that just want to hammer down on that one thing, try to make it the forefront of every conversation when it's not, and just proves that they're obsessed over that one point.
Yeah, absolutely. But yeah, so I saw this and I was like, this is pretty bad for them. And yeah, we'll see. We'll see what happens. The reason, so anybody that wonders why it's bad, let me try and make it make sense here. So HBO is a network. HBO Max is a streaming service. Typically with streaming services, you offer some sort of streaming exclusive content that you're not getting on HBO. And HBO would make the streaming service wait for a while till the shows came over to HBO Max. So there would be a little bit of time where people would have to get HBO or watch HBO as something is airing to see it. Those days are gone because what David Zaslav has done is if you want to watch something like Righteous Gemstones on Sunday night, all you have to do is wait a few hours and then you can watch it on HBO Max. You don't have to watch it on HBO. Yep. So the value of HBO as a network is losing its value because of shifting everything over to HBO Max because HBO Max doesn't have originals anymore.
And Max also wasn't earning up enough back to make up the difference.
Right. So as you can see here, HBO Max has growth. 1.2 or 122.3 million subscribers with 2.7 billion in revenue. The reason why is people are abandoning HBO and paying for HBO Max because they don't have to. They only have to wait a few hours to watch a show.
Yeah,
so it doesn't make any sense to watch it on HBO when it's airing.
Yeah, because like they can just skip like all the commercials at that point, and then just like watch it at their leisure.
So yeah, that's a thing. Let me find these pictures of Galactus. I want to talk about.
I will never subscribe to. Go ahead, Jake.
Brings you back to the days of whenever you would record something on your DVR just so you could watch it at your own leisure and fast forward through the commercials.
That's true.
And I will never subscribe to HBO Max or HBO in general unless they have a $6 tier.
By the way, I haven't mentioned it earlier, but we do have a super chat goal if anybody wants to contribute. It's 10 at any level. So 10 $1 super chats would count. So if you guys just want to reach the goal easily, you can do a $10 worth of super chats to do that. And we will do a poll to see what you guys select if we reach the goal. Because there will be a bonus stream this weekend. So we'll do more of the stuff. Like I said, I want to do some of that Flash stuff hopefully this weekend. If not this weekend, next week sometime. So if you guys are feeling like you want to super chat, I very much appreciate it. Okay. With that being said, here we go. We have Galactus from the Fantastic Four movie.
He's not a cloud.
I've heard some different opinions about this. Before I give my thoughts, do you guys have any hot takes on this or anything you want to say about it?
I was a little taken from his face, but his costume's kind of cool. I was like, "That's Galactus, really?" But at the same time, I'm like, "It's not Cloud, so I'm going to give it a chance."
Okay, Jake, any thoughts on Galactus?
I mean, I'm just happy that we're getting a prime and proper Galactus in this installment, which will hopefully pave the road for a prime and proper Doom, because the Fantastic Four live action franchises have been lacking both of those. And we'll likely see that with RDJ, but hopefully I'm using this term way too much, but prime and proper one down the line. But liking what I see so far.
Yeah. What's up, Low Watermark? Good to see you. Glad to have you here. Okay, so the only issue I only have one issue with this. One issue, and it's a very tiny one. I wish it was more saturated in color.
Yeah.
I wish it was a bit more vibrant.
Yeah, it's a little muted.
Because if you look here, this is the actual comic book suit. I think it ticks all the boxes for me in terms of the comic book suit, except for the saturation of the color.
It might look brighter in the actual film than the toy does.
So did they do a creative decision and make him purple?
What do you mean?
Because he looks white on the other one. If you go to the other one, the comic book one.
Yeah, I think it's just.
He looks like a person.
Yeah. What I'm saying is, I think that's just the way they colored him in the comics, because he's going to be a person in this one, or at least he'll be a humanoid character.
He has a human face.
Yeah.
I thought they made him Thanos-y.
No,
I don't think so. I did see. There's a picture if I can find it where you can see more of the details. Hold on, let me look that up quickly.
So that could be practical.
Oh no, I don't think it's practical.
Okay.
I mean, there might be him in a practical suit at some point because it is the actor's face. Here we go. See a bit more detail here. That is his face. So they could definitely do something practical with him if they wanted. But there's a lot of if you look closely, there's a lot of lines and details in this.
It kind of looks like a Death Star.
Yeah. Yeah. So I think there is. Well, Lance, I think this is the toy, right? This isn't the... Is this the actual suit? I thought this was either a toy or a mock-up.
So I'm pretty sure this is the toy, but the suit could also look brighter, like I said, in the actual film itself.
Yeah, absolutely. Hold Oh, I love Ralph's voice. Yeah, I've heard his voice before. But I don't think it's always going to be like a practical suit. Like, I don't think he's always going to be in the Galactus suit. I think there's definitely going to be some visual effects. We'd be kind of stupid to say there's not going to be.
I'm assuming so, yeah.
Yeah. But I like the way this looks. When I first clicked on it, it was a little weird seeing his face in Galactus's helmet. I was like, hold on, this is a little strange.
See, I'm not the only one.
Overall, though, I mean, like, if you look, let me go back here. If you look at this design, even above the eyes and everything, other than this slight difference in the shape of the helmet, this is pretty fucking close.
I mean, the helmet's like shape is, pretty damn close. It's just like
it just doesn't go up as high as the other ones.
Yeah,
They
and
even
the design like up here is a little different.
they even gave his design of his chest the same.
Oh yeah. This does. I wanted to talk about this for a few minutes. Like, honestly, my thoughts on the whole the Fantastic Four. There's a little clip where they looked at their watch and it said alert. I don't know if you guys saw that or not. It makes me kind of sad that we've not explored other universes before now in a big way, because I think about it and I'm like, we're getting like, this isn't like Multiverse of Madness where we got a little sneak peek into other worlds. Like, this is literally an entire movie shot on another Earth with different heroes and a different villain and all this stuff. We've never had anything like this before. And I thought, why couldn't we have something like this? Why did it take so long to get a movie like this? Because it makes the most sense. I think the Fantastic Four have to exist in a world like that.
Yeah, because if you put them into, like, if you tried to place them in current MCU the way it is now without, any multi-dimensional shenanigans, you would have all those questions arise of, where were they during A, B, and C events? And, to just avoid that and tell whatever story that they want to tell, I think putting it in its own little pocket universe is the best idea.
For me, that's my thinking with Blade. Like, the vampires don't really exist in the current MCU because we've never seen them before.
Yeah.
Even though they could be like hiding
before the chat goes off on me, we have not had anything like this. I know you guys want to equate Deadpool and Wolverine and other things that got retconned into the MCU. This is a movie that exists in the MCU as a different world. That's not the way these other films worked. Like, the other films got put in after the fact. Deadpool was a franchise before it got inducted into the MCU. The X-Men are the same way. The Fantastic Four movies were the same way. The Spider-Man movies were the same way. This is a movie that was made as a product of the MCU in a separate Earth. That's what I'm talking about. Like, the opportunity to explore something like this. We've never had this before in the MCU. These are characters that exist in the MCU but adjacent to the main continuity.
Yeah.
That's different. That's different than the other stuff. To me, it's different. The closest thing we have is the Deadpool and Wolverine movie, but even that is still a retcon to the Deadpool and Wolverine story, or Deadpool story.
Yeah, and like that also, the quote-unquote universes that those have come from in the past, they're not exactly highlighted, so you don't really get to see what the differences are.
Yeah.
Like the universes themselves.
I mean, you could argue, like, even with, time jumping between Infinity War and Endgame when they're going around and collecting the Infinity Stones and stuff, we got to see little blueprints of other worlds. We never had an entire movie start out in the MCU, placed on another world with the sole purpose to destroy that universe through an incursion.
Yeah.
So...
And we might see other worlds, like...
probably.
In Secret World.
Oh, we're definitely going to see other ones.
Because I think Monica Rambeau is going to there's going to be like a little clip, like a showing of how she gets back to the MCU. Like, there's a lot of things that are left untouched and that need to be touched upon to make it make sense. Because you already put her in another world, she has to come back. I mean.
Cullen says, just because you haven't seen vampires in the MCU doesn't mean they don't exist. I agree with that. They never knew they were wizards in the
Well,
MCU until Doctor
vampires
Strange. Yeah, I
in
agree
the
with that,
world,
too.
vampires and zombies in this world, that the real world, are just stories in folklore and legends and stuff like that. Where
I mean, to be fair, that's also what they said in the Matrix movie, is that the vampires and stuff in that were just like
myth.
glitches that were considered folklore, and they just show up out of nowhere. So I don't know. It is what it is. I like this though. I like this design, and I think this is a good step in the right direction.
It's very
I haven't
cosmic
really,
feel to it.
yeah, I haven't seen a lot of people being super negative about this. Of course, there's always going to be some criticism, but I haven't seen a lot of people being super negative. The most I've heard is the same thing I said, which is I wish the colors were a little bit brighter, but that could simply be just the way it looks in the photos, or the fact that it's not, looking this way it looks in space, it looks different when it's under like sunlight or something. There's a lot of things that could happen to make it look different.
Right.
So,
And I think Doctor Strange said something along the lines, didn't you guys chart in the 60s, which could be the Fantastic Four of an MCU is a band.
oh,
And
I mean, maybe, but I don't know if we'll ever see that.
and X-Men are a band.
I don't know if we'll ever see that, but maybe they might come back.
There wouldn't really be a point now that you're bringing this version in.
Let's see what else we got here. Okay, so also we had this, and this is a rumor, but I just thought I'd bring it up. So Doctor Strange: The Incursions of Insanity premieres in theaters November 6, 2026. I haven't seen any confirmed stuff on this, but I'm seeing a lot of people picking this up. Have you guys seen anything else about this?
Well, that would be one of the dates that wasn't announced yet.
Right.
I had a feeling that was going to be one of like the next things that was announced. So that one I was correct on, like of it being one of, if not the next thing. I mean, I know this isn't official, quote unquote, but
It's the least likely. It's the most likely, actually.
I wouldn't, I wouldn't put it past this. I don't really like that title that much, though.
Well, they're using incursions because that's what happens obviously in the comic books, right? Like with the worlds coming together and everything.
I know I saw a lot of people theorizing, like because presumably with how the second film ended, that they were going to be, going, to the dark dimension. There was going to be a focus on, Charlize Theron as Clea, and I saw a lot of people theorizing of they might just call it, Doctor Strange in the Dark Dimension. I was like, it's cool, but that title didn't pop out at me and go yes. But
well, let me just say this: that if this is true, that would mean that at the end of Doomsday is when the incursion events begin. Right. And then for Strange to not be, think about this, if Benedict is definitely not going to be in Doomsday, it would make a lot of sense for him to have a separate movie where they're battling the incursions that are happening. Because maybe the characters, because in the OG Secret Wars, if you go back to the 80s, the OG Secret Wars, basically characters get plucked out of reality and put into like a pocket dimension.
Yeah, that's how they were. Like they're plucked from different, not only realities, but also points in time.
So this lead into Secret Wars could be a combination of all of the other Secret Wars together as one thing. So you have the incursions, but you also have characters being plucked away. Maybe the reason why characters get plucked away, or why there's only half of a roster in Doomsday, is because that's the characters that get taken and put onto a separate plane of existence. That the Beyonder did, but I think it's going to be Doom that does it in Doomsday, right?
And then you see the way that like the Spider-Man animated series did it. He went and he plucked all those heroes out from different points in time, and he even kind of broke the time rule a little bit because Captain America and that was like stuck in a time vortex that kept him basically suspended, and he was able to be pulled out of that vortex to be able to fight.
Well, the good thing about this is that if this is true, that means that the incursion stuff would be introduced in this movie at the end of Doomsday and then in this movie because of something that's happening with Doom and the characters that have been taken that is causing the collapse of the multiverse. Yeah. And so Doctor Strange is going to be wondering, where is everybody else?
Yeah.
Where are they at? It's just me and Spider-Man. We're the only people still here, and then whoever's not been announced in the roster so far that's left
Mhm.
over. But where's everybody else at?
I feel like the whole, Spider-Man situation, there is a chance of it being like this too. I think I brought this up to you that it could very well be in Infinity War, Ant-Man and the Wasp type situation where Spider-Man Brand New Days events happen parallel to Doomsday, and then the end of that, goes into what happens there.
Right. Well, the thing about it is, though, that we know in Secret Wars comic story, Doctor Strange is second in command to Doctor Doom. Like, that's how that works. So this would make sense. If you think about it, him dealing with the incursions in this may be why he's one of the outliers that survives into that world and knows what happened. And so he ends up being subservient to Doctor Doom in that reality, in Battle World throughout Secret Wars.
In Secret Wars where Spider-Man, first dons the black alien. So, I mean, will they do that? Who knows?
Well, if they want to do the Spider-Man movie while this is going on, which is what we're assuming is going to happen based on the scheduling, then that would mean taking Spider-Man away. After that, when, Doctor Strange is dealing with this and then Spider-Man going away or whatever, they could in fact introduce the symbiote on Battle World while the heroes are doing that. So the next Spider-Man movie begins that whole saga with the symbiote.
Could potentially, because it was introduced, in like one of the Battle World labs whenever he was looking for a costume substitute, if I remember correctly.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Yeah. Because I've got most, 90% of that original Secret War run, including issue 8 where he gets that costume. Mm-hmm. So there's a lot they could do, and I'm already preparing for all those people to be like, oh, well, it's not like the comics. They didn't do this, this, and this. It's not going to be. If you want it to be like the comic that bad, go read the damn comic.
I actually think it's going to be a combination of all the different Secret War stories. I think we're going to see a lot of them just kind of smushed together into one. Plus,
I imagine it's going to be that with a bit of, the Russo's own individual sort of flair, because that's what Infinity War was. It would they took beats from Infinity Gauntlet, but put a lot of their own original flair into it.
This one also falls in the gap between the second one and the first one. How's there's got to be a time jump. Unless the ending is somehow connected to the actual time of when this one comes out.
Maybe. Let's see here.
It's not been officially announced yet, but it's looking likely that Raimi is set to direct this one again too, which I'd be really happy if that's the case.
He's like a director in a candy shop right now with Doctor Strange, because that's what he wanted to be.
Yeah.
Well, what he wanted to do originally back in the day was The Shadow, but that didn't end up happening. And then 10 years before he did Spider-Man, he made his own superhero. Then he did Darkman.
All right, let's shift gears a little bit over to Zack Snyder. So apparently, this is again speculation. I don't think it's been officially confirmed, but it does seem like something is not happening with the Rebel Moon franchise, and that Netflix is not moving forward with it when they had promised to make 6 films, I guess, based in this world. And it says here, George goes, there's literally no source confirming this. One of the writers gave a positive update just a couple of days ago, and I was not a fan of these films. And then the account Physical Media Forever does, with some luck and an act of God, we'll get back to that world. Does that mean that it's a good update for it?
I still think it's BS right now.
I don't see how they can justify bringing this back for more films. They've canceled shows that were popular. This movie was not good, and it didn't perform well overall. So I would be very shocked if they continued.
It's basically like giving a hypothesis and going on the side that's most likely.
No, I'm not saying that it's confirmed or whatever. I'm saying that Netflix has a history of canceling popular things, things that did well. So it would be very unlikely, unless they're locked in and have to do it financially, for for them to make another expensive movie like Rebel Moon, only to have the fan reception be so poor.
Oh, because then it would just be like what happened with the first two, where it would get released, and then to get the actual version of it that was intended, they would release a director cut of it, like
Right.
they did with the first two.
There would be no point. Just release the director's cut. Like, there's no
Mhm.
reason to make two different versions.
Right. I don't understand why both of those films had initial releases and then director cuts. It didn't need to be that way.
Yeah. Well, either way, I know a lot of Snyder fans are probably upset about this. Is there any other Rebel Moon stuff that's in production that has to finish? Let me see. Double check on this.
Well, a lot of the quote-unquote, people that claim that they're Snyder fans don't actually care about this at all. Like, they're, again, like I said before, obsessed with that one thing, and when you try to talk to them about anything else that Snyder does, they won't actually have that conversation, and they'll redirect it. And then those people are not fans.
Yeah, see, it goes here. Initially, Snyder and co-writer Kurt Johnstead envisioned the franchise as a trilogy, with each installment split into two parts. So yes, 6 films. They had treatments prepared for third and fourth movie, and Snyder had begun writing the third film. However, in May 2025, Johnstead confirmed the sequels are no longer moving forward. So the actual co-creator confirmed that. While Snyder had ambitious plans for expanding the Rebel Moon universe, including additional film spinoffs and other media, the franchise currently consists of just the 2 released films and their director's cuts. So, doesn't look like there's anything going to happen with that.
Mm.
Did you guys like the movies or no?
No. Boring.
I like the director cuts of them. But again, we had to wait until both those came out.
They should have been released at the same time. If you're going to do that, just release one PG-13 and rated R at the same time and let people watch the one they want to watch. Or don't even release a PG-13 version. Why?
Yeah, like there's no point in...
You're not putting it in theaters, right? Like, it's not a regular movie.
Yeah, Netflix is like very... You can basically have like unrated stuff on Netflix. They don't have like a censor.
Yeah, go ahead.
I was going to say, I will say a project of, a semi-recent project of Zach's that I think is actually really good and more people should watch if they haven't. That Twilight of the Gods series on Netflix.
That's great. That's great.
That's so good.
I love that cartoon. It's probably one of my favorite cartoon series from last year.
I will co-sign that. Yeah.
It's so good. Like, I saw that and I'm like, why did he just not focus on that and forget this Rebel Moon shit? Like, I would look, that cartoon makes me believe that Zack Snyder should make more cartoons.
Yeah. Because, I'll say this, like him or not, he has a distinct way that he likes to tell stories. He has visions that he wants to put on screen. And there are a lot of quote-unquote creatives in Hollywood that you cannot say that about.
And case in point, that show in particular is the reason why I think Netflix doesn't have a censor.
The Twilight of the Gods?
Yeah.
Netflix can release anything they want. I mean, they don't. It's a streaming service. They can put whatever they want on.
That's why I'm like,
as long as it doesn't break any like FCC laws. Or
that's why I'm like always like confused why not just release the director's cut, because there's no censor.
Yeah. Okay, so Think Noodles here with the $5 super chat goes, did you see the Rippaverse comic Zalen printing and binding issue in Eric's apology video? Not sure if you're going to cover it. Love the content. Thank you, Think Noodle. By the way, that's 1 out of 10. We're on the roll now.
So that didn't show up.
Chat, so, what do you mean?
On the chat thingy? I didn't see that one.
I did. It just didn't show up as a super chat.
Oh.
It just shows up like a regular comment. But that's why when you super chat, you get over here. You get the big box when you super chat. I don't know if you guys saw this or not. It's probably not something that you guys would keep up with, but there was a printing issue with a comic book that came out, and the printing issue essentially was like the center of the pages, where the pages come together on a splash page, had some issues with that, like with the blurring of it and everything. Where like the printer got it wrong. But this guy, look, I know we haven't talked in detail about it with like you guys, and I haven't talked about it. I keep up with a lot of it because I'm just very interested in it. But if you're making independent comic books, you can't have mistakes like this. Like, you can't. You're not Marvel and DC where you're printing, millions of comic books and a few of them are going to have printing errors. Like, you're an indie comic company. There has to be a level of quality that your buyers are assured of.
Like, you got to get that stuff proved by multiple people.
Well, he even said in his apology video that every single step they missed it in every single step of this. So all of the proofing, I don't know. That's what he said. He said in every single step they made, it was like 3 different steps. They all missed it. I don't know how, but I would rather, like we talked about in indie comics, when you support something online, like whether it be through Indiegogo or Fund My Comic or whatever, and you're buying a comic direct from a creator or their comic book company or whatever, you're doing that you're spending a little bit more per comic because you believe in the product they're making. If you're buying anything direct to consumer, and they need to make sure there's quality in it. So for me, putting out a comic book with an error in it that missed so many different checks and balances is just really weird.
And that like a bunch of people, that were supporting it or maybe just kind of checking it out and noticed it like immediately.
Yeah, it was obvious. Staggervore here, the $9.99 super chat. Thank you so much. We're 2 out of 10. The truth about the Snyder fans who did support this film, they thought it would pave the way for Netflix to acquire the DCEU, even though that would never happen. I think you're probably right, Staggervore. I don't dive into that community too much.
They should know it would not happen.
But I totally believe. The thing about it is, there's a false reality that people have, and I think the Snyder fans live in sort of a false reality. If Zack Snyder was as good as they say he is, we wouldn't have bad things like this that underperform. He would just be making great content after great content after great content. And they're not supporting it either. Or at least there's not enough of them because the movie didn't do well. So
I'll say, like the brutally honest, blunt thing, if he were, I'm a fan of some of the stuff he does, or some stuff he does that doesn't vibe with me, but if he were as universally loved by a lot of people as this fandom wants to claim, they wouldn't have used, like, the people at Warner Brothers wouldn't have used the death of his daughter to shove him out the door.
True. I hear a lot of excuses about that too. But
what?
That it was all a cover up and blah 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 and all the typical stuff that the Snyder guys say about everything.
Oh, that whole thing was a cover up?
Yeah, they're trying to say that was all fake too.
Oh my god.
So
and I don't know what flavored copium they're drinking, but they're addicted to it.
Yeah. Maybe it's red Gatorade flavored. I don't know.
Maybe it's that Venom G Fuel flavor. That's the one time I've ever gotten G Fuel was when the Venom movie was coming out and it had like the Venom and Carnage brands. It's the only
I've
time
had a lot of different energy drinks. G Fuel is one of the grossest ones. I'm sorry, it's one of the grossest ones. I don't like it. It's too
why
sweet
I only had
for
it
me.
once. I only had it once.
I will only drink an energy drink if I absolutely have to, and usually that's very few times, a month, if that. I used to be addicted to energy drinks. No lie. I know it's not good. Well, by the way, shout out to Silhouette Animator with a $1 super chat just contributing to the goal. Thank you so much. And also Luther G, $1.99 just contributing to the goal. Thank you so much. So we are 4 out of 10. Like I said, guys, even $1, a couple dollars here count toward the goal. I try to put it low so you guys can participate and have a good time with it. Thank you so much for every single donation. You guys are amazing. I do appreciate it.
That was his last dollar in his account, as he said.
Oh my gosh. Well, thank you. I don't even know what to say to that, but thank you. I appreciate it. I'm not worthy of your last dollar, Silhouette Animator. But thank you so much.
I used to be addicted to not really like energy. Well, okay, some energy drinks, yes, but like if I have any of it nowadays, it's not like a full-on drink. It's one of those, like bottles that's like that tall, that's like 5-hour energy. Mm-hmm. If I just need like a quick boost or something at like work at the start of the day.
Yeah.
One thing I absolutely will not consume. I've tried it once, detest it. That is Monster. I cannot stand Monster.
Monster has a weird aftertaste to it. So I don't like Monster really, but
you one I be drinking battery acid.
Yeah, the one that I like that I could get addicted to again, even though I'm trying not to, oddly enough, is the watermelon flavored Red Bulls, the sugar-free ones. Those are good.
The one that
the only Red Bull I had that I really liked, I can't remember the flavor like word for word. It was like a summer flavored one. I think it was just labeled as summer flavor.
Mhm.
Does that like ring a bell?
Yeah, I think I know what you're talking about.
Yeah, it was that one. And then like I've actually been I've been completely soda free for actually in a couple weeks. This upcoming June is going to be 3 years since I cut soda.
Really?
Yeah.
I think my brother, I have to talk to him, but he went soda free for a while too. I don't know if he still is or not. So I used to be really, I know this is completely off topic, but this is why people come to the stream, just to see what we talk about. Paige would love a food topic if you stopped in. But I used to drink, no lie, and this is definitely not good for you. I would work on the weekends, Friday, Saturday night, and both nights that I work, I would have at least 2 Red Bulls.
Yeah, no, I would do not like I said, not full on energy drinks, but those little booster bottles that give you like 5 hours at a time.
Yeah.
If I'm like at a long drive, or because I would like roadie for some bands and stuff that were local to my area that I grew up in.
Like I don't like
one, like I would have one 5 hour energy type boost, and then as soon as that 5 hours thing was up, I would just chug the next one. It's like, all right, here we go, next.
Like I don't like Monster, but I like the off-brand called Revive, which is like green tea. I do like that one.
I don't.
Nowadays, it's just water, coffee, and then the occasional alcoholic drink.
You know what I really like, and I know it's like seasonal, but I love lemonade. I love lemonade.
Lemonade, yeah.
Like natural lemonade, not the stuff with like all the sugar in it, but like just the natural lemonade.
Mm-hmm.
I like sour stuff. You know, like when we go to the movies, I'm the one person that gets like the sour gummies or whatever they have, whatever those are. I love those things.
Yeah, those things are good. My you know what I hate that they got rid of, or at least for the theater near me. Like the last 2 times I went, those little lifesaver gummies that they're like. So they're like that big around. It's like a circular type of gummy. It's really sweet. They're called lifesavers. They got rid of them. They don't sell them there anymore. I was like,
really?
That sucks.
I like those too. I'm a gummy person, but the lifesaver gummies were like soft. Like they weren't the chewy kind. Like they were if I remember correctly, you bite into them and they kind of melt in your mouth, which I really like. That's the ones I used to have. So those are really good. Which, by the way, holy crap! The whole time we're sitting here chatting,
$7
Okay. So let's go through this here. I got to move over to my screen. Luther was like, you know what? We're just going to go ahead and get this thing funded. So shout out to all of these super chats from Luther at $1.99 each. And then Jason jumping in with a locked-in super chat and a team member at $5. And then Luther cleaning up with 2 more $1.99 super chats to reach the goal. So we have reached the goal. So in 20 minutes, I'll start the poll. 3-Dub, remember, 20 minutes. Tell me to go ahead and do that if I forget.
Apparently Luther comes to more than just the Justice Gang.
I know Luther came definitely not Lex Luthor, 100% not Lex Luthor. So thank you. Shout out everyone. Give a shout out to Luther and everybody that super chatted tonight. We have let's see what Jason, Staggervore, Think Noodles, who helped reach the goal. Thank you guys so much. I do appreciate it. So yeah, we'll do the poll and you guys will get to pick something. So I told you it was like it was an easy number tonight. It was any tier. So yeah, yours truly says goats carrying the stream. Yeah. Absolutely. Quinlan says, I love tea too. I love tea. My issue is I'm addicted to Southern tea, so it's very sweet. Like I like sweet tea.
I like twisted teas too.
Those are so good.
Those are really good. But okay, I'll say this. If you have not had the Bojangles flavored ones yet, stay away from them. They are terrible.
Okay.
They're really bad.
100%.
I like chai tea.
So before we move on, we're going to watch the trailer for Jurassic World after this because I've heard people are saying it's not good, which is weird because I like the other one. So we'll see where this one lands for me. But today for lunch, I only have this once in a while because I like they have different drinks or whatever, is Sonic. Do you guys like Sonic at all?
Yeah.
They have so many different drinks you can get.
I haven't been in a while, but I do like them. Yeah,
they have these. So whenever I get a craving, and Sonic has the most unique tasting ones, is pretzels. They have these really good pretzel twists you can get. They're like $1.99. They're really cheap. So you can get like 3 or 4 of them for less than $5. And so I love to get their pretzel twist and then one of their flavored lemonades. I love their lemonades. But they have what is it? Like they have milkshakes, they have All they have ice cream. They got tons of stuff.
Like
at
Ices,
Sonic.
yeah. There's a
They
lot
even
of
have chili dogs for Sonic the Hedgehog.
Yeah. So, all right. See you later, Silhouette Animator. Thank you for the super chat. I do appreciate it.
Can't relapse back into soda cravings.
So
I had to
Bob
fight it
says,
for a while too.
not good. Are they high? Every Jurassic fan site says I've seen loves the new trailer. I'm saying, look, I'm gonna stay very positive because I like even the bad Jurassic World, Jurassic Park movies, and we know which ones I'm talking about. I still enjoy them for what they are, but I have high hopes for this one because I like the teaser we got like a month ago. So, but Jake, you're looking like you didn't like it, so I'm wondering if this is good or bad. So,
I mean, I don't know. Like my history on these has just been really up and down. You know, like I really didn't like the last movie. I have faith in this movie more so at least because like I like the director. They've got David kept writing it, and he's written a lot of great screenplays. So I have faith in those two. I have trust in those two, but I don't know. I've just been very kind of middle of the road on what I've seen of this movie so far. Not loving it, but not hating it either.
They even have Scarlett Johansson eye candy for a lot of men.
all right. So I want to warn everybody. This is Universal, which means there's a high probability this trailer will disappear. I think Universal is one of the bad ones, right? I know it's Warner Brothers. Warner Brothers is really bad about it.
Warner Brothers and Universal, yeah. Like if it were a Disney thing, it'd be fine.
Like Disney and I think a lot of the smaller like Lionsgate and stuff, they don't really do it.
Yeah,
but,
like Illumination.
Yeah. But for some reason, Warner Brothers and Universal doesn't want people promoting their movies. It's a trailer. Well, I mean, you're gonna make money off of the movie. Why do you give the fuck if people watch a trailer? Like
right.
They're
like
just
$2
following their own
not gonna
sword.
make a difference.
All right, so, but the good news is, and we have to give a shout out to StreamYard for this one, the chat will not disappear this time because now you guys are in the corner, which means even if I edit this out, the comments will stay over there in the corner. So shout out to them for that. That was the one thing I hated whenever I got a copyright claim. It didn't matter if they pulled the trailer out because I'm like, people can just go watch the trailer themselves. But the chat would disappear.
Oh, that sucks.
Yeah, so if I edit out a trailer in chat, you guys, the people that come back through and watch after we stream, if a trailer has to be taken out, the entire chat disappears.
Oh, wow.
On YouTube. So it was really annoying. All right, with that being said, I'm going to full screen it over here for me. There we go. Let us watch this Jurassic World Rebirth official trailer number 2. Here we go.
Open the door! Sorry. Please open the door for me!
On the island we're headed to, 24 species have survived there alone.
The theme park owners did experimental work, leaving only the worst ones here.
Okay, so before we go any further, maybe I'm lost on this, but I need to be filled in. So chat, Jake, 3Dub, if you heard anything about this, is this basically a park of rejected animals, where ones that didn't come out the way they were supposed to?
I think that's the case.
So like a T-Rex that isn't quite right is on this island,
Yeah,
or like a mosasaur that isn't quite right is on this island. So it's like all of the rejected animals.
Like all the failed experiments, yeah.
Yes.
Yeah, pretty much.
So I like that because it leaves the door open for some weird combinations of dinosaurs.
Yeah.
But also the one, what are they calling the one that's like looks like a rancor? What is that one? Doesn't that one have a name? I feel like that has a name.
Have a name?
Sick. Oh, let me check.
Distorus Rex.
Distortus Rex, like distortion? Distortus Rex? D-Rex?
D-Rex, yeah.
So it says here it's got 6 limbs. It's got a bulbous alien-like head with an abundance of sharp teeth. It says that the creator says the design was inspired by xenomorphs and the Rancor combined together. So, yes, it's the mutations. The behavioral failures, failed experiments just dumped and abandoned on one island. Holy shit! That is going to be so frightening. I don't even know how to get into that. All right, continuing the trailer.
Don't see that every day or ever.
Let's go.
If we get this DNA, millions of lives are saved.
Maybe we should make this quick, huh? Time to move.
This is giving me Tomb Raider vibes.
Yeah, I'm thinking that too because of like all the temples and stuff.
Don't belong. Survival is a long shot.
That's kind of our specialty.
She's scared. She's scared though.
Come on, run!
We're not gonna let you get hurt, okay?
Oh shit, these things look weird. Is that like a raptor with wings?
Looks
Then
like
there's a
it.
source. We found it? No, it found us.
Oh my god.
Some 47 meters down.
What was that?
Some 47 meters down shit, right?
Yeah. Crazy. What was that?
This is just a little random, but did they give Scarlett Johansson a little like spray on tan?
Oh, maybe. I don't know. It's possibly they're on the island under the suns. You're probably just supposed to look tan because they were out on the island, basically shipwrecked, it looks like. I think the shipwreck thing probably happens at the beginning, which is how they get stuck on the island in the first place.
So
the
Gilligan's
raptors
Island-
with wings are terrifying.
Because no sane person would go to that island after hearing about it and be like, "Hey, all that place was with all the reject experiments. Let's go there." Like there would be some inciting incident that forces them there.
Bob here says, to me, it looks like a T-Rex clone with too much frog DNA expressed, plus a case of frontonasal dysplasia. Oh, no, I'm not going to Google that. Don't worry. Chat, thumbs up or thumbs down? How are we feeling about this trailer? I enjoyed it. I think the first trailer was better, only because it didn't give so much away. I feel like this trailer gave a lot away. But I'm still going to go see this because, like I said, I love this franchise and I like dinosaurs, so I'm going to go check it out. But raptors with wings, count me in. Count me in.
See, I'm kind of the opposite of you. I didn't really think the first trailer was all that good. I thought this one was personal.
Oh, so you prefer this one?
Yeah.
Okay. What about you, 3Dub?
This one had more action, so yeah.
So are you going to see it? Is that what you're saying, or no?
No, I don't. I don't watch dinosaur movies.
Really?
Yeah,
Like,
I
you've
was
never watched
traumatized.
Godzilla or anything?
At home, but like for me,
Oh.
like I was traumatized at 7 with Jurassic Park, so I just stay away from it.
Oh, wait. So you saw it when you were a kid?
Yeah, when you have a visual of a guy getting ripped in half
Uh,
at a 7-year-old, you don't stick with it.
Did you see it in movie theaters?
No, I saw it on VHS.
Okay.
It was already out.
I might still have my VHS of Jurassic Park somewhere. I've collected a lot of VHSs over the last number of years.
It might have been a marathon too, because they did a lot of movie marathons on TV.
I felt so bad for Darren because he had a theater experience where he went and he saw the first Jurassic Park in theaters, and then it was followed up by Dominion. I was like, oh no, like that's
Yeah.
got to be rough.
Yeah. All right. So for me, thumbs up. I enjoyed it. If you're watching this on playback, in the comments down below, let me know if you liked the trailer, if you didn't like the trailer. Bob here says the River Raft sequence looks fire. It's straight out of the first book. It's pretty cool.
I feel really bad for that one girl that's like stuck in the water. I was like, you're gonna be stuck in therapy the rest of your life.
All right, so let's talk about this.
This has already been said time and time again.
Yes, but let me explain why I'm even pulling this up. The fact that they are rehashing old rumors is not a good sign.
Nope.
Because they're trying to make sure people are still talking about this. Because it is slowly disappearing from like public conversation.
What, like just
The sequel to this movie. Like people are getting more and more detached from it, and I think the studio is worried that people are losing interest in it. Now, I disagree. I think the fans of the first Batman movie will 100% go and see the second Batman.
Yeah.
But I think they're worried about like that casual audience that sort of watches things like back in the day, you could take 20 years between a sequel, like because the older movies, the ones that we're seeing sequels of now, like Beetlejuice and everything, those work because they were older movies. This movie is like a few years old now. People want those sequels to come out as quickly as possible, and I think this movie casually may suffer from a longer delay. Although I think the people that are locked in to this movie, being like fans of this movie specifically, they're going to go see the sequel no matter what.
People are used to like 2 and 3 year gaps of sequels. Like that's usually the norm. Like there's usually the first one, and if there's a sequel, it's like 2 to 3 years away because they have to like write in film it.
I just want the DCU Batman. I don't. If this one takes another 5 years to come out and that's what they want to do, that's fine. Just give me the DCU Batman. I want that character. I want those characters to exist in the DCU.
I was just kind of worried that one might be put on delay or on hold because of this.
That's what I'm worried about too. Yeah, I'm worried about the same thing.
I don't want that to be the case.
What's the point of Elseworld if you're not going to do Elseworlds?
I think the reason is it's Batman. I think if this were any other character, even Wonder Woman or Flash, they wouldn't care. But Batman is Batman is DC's equivalent to Spider-Man from Marvel. It's one of their biggest IPs, if not their biggest superhero.
One that makes them the most money.
Yeah, you can put out Batman stuff all year round, and people are going to tune into most of it.
Yeah.
So.
I'm hoping that like this year, will kind of put Superman back in that same conversation.
Oh, I hope so. Well, I want them to because I want them to have faith in more things than just Batman.
Right.
That's my issue.
For the longest time, they only made like when it came to live action movies for the longest time, it was only Batman, Superman, or things that were adjacent to those characters.
Right.
And then like when it came to other things like Green Lantern, for example, they took that lesson and went, oh, people must not be fans of this. It's like, no, just don't fuck with the movie, make a good movie, and people will like it. Because then, like, whenever you have, things like Wonder Woman and Aquaman, the latter which made $1 billion, that tells you that people like more than just Batman and Superman.
Yeah, I did see, hold on, there's a comment here I want to highlight, only because I saw this earlier. From Anthony, Jurassic World Rebirth will not have an IMAX release. Yeah, this was weird. So apparently, I think the word on the street is that IMAX was committed to F1 and then Superman.
Yes.
So there was no room for Jurassic World to get in on that deal because they were already committed. That's what I've heard. Was it not shot with IMAX in mind at all?
I thought it would have been because like those movies are like, if anything, especially nowadays, if not throughout their entire lifespan, like they would benefit the most from an IMAX screening.
Someone said online that it basically would hurt Jurassic Rebirth because the IMAX is like a go-to for moviegoers, and if Superman takes IMAX, they're probably going to smoke them. And box.
You mean if Jurassic World took that over Superman?
Yeah, if Jurassic World got IMAX, they would smoke Superman. But if Superman gets IMAX and Rebirth doesn't,
you want a little bit of like hard honesty, I think Jurassic World was going to smoke Superman anyway.
Well, I meant like in IMAX numbers.
Maybe, but I think in all numbers, Jurassic World is going to do better than Superman. I think Jurassic World would probably do better than Fantastic Four. I think it's this franchise, barring some weird like issue with the film, is typically $1 billion franchise.
Yeah, and Superman and Special Fantastic Four do not have $1 billion installments. The latter of which doesn't have anything close to that. But I would love for all three of these to make billion.
Yeah, I think Fantastic Four could either get close to or make $1 billion if it's a good movie. Simply based on the fact that it looks like it's going to be one of those family movies with a really good cast right now.
Yeah.
Superman has some heavy lifting to do because there's a lot of baggage in the DC universe. Even the casual audience needs to be made fully aware that this is not a continuation of that DCEU. They need to be fully aware of that. I know people would say, oh, well, it's obvious, but I've actually spoken to people. They're like, so is this guy taking over for Henry Cavill? They think that it's that story just continuing. And I'm like, no, it's a brand new one.
No.
Except for it's not really a kids movie.
What?
Jurassic Rebirth.
He didn't say it was. He said Fantastic Four.
No, I meant like kids do love watching dinos eating people. I'm like, it's not really a kids movie.
What?
Jurassic World, the franchise, is not really a kids movie.
I didn't say it
Never
was.
said
No, I was talking about Fetman Place.
Oh, I was like, wait a minute, what are you talking about? I was like, I never even made that comment. Yeah, if you're going to reference somebody in the chat, please be like so-and-so said.
Sorry.
Because I didn't know who you were talking about. I thought you were talking about me or Jake. I'm trying to remember, like, what did I say? But I'm like, I didn't say that.
No, wasn't talking about you.
No. Look, all the Jurassic World, Jurassic Park movies, let's just look at the modern ones. Jurassic World. I'll look up the numbers just out of curiosity. But let's see.
Jurassic Park definitely wasn't a kids movie. Damn.
Let's see here. Give me a second. Everyone passed $1 billion. Jurassic World 2015 did 1.6. Jurassic World Fallen Kingdom did 1.3. Jurassic World Dominion did 1.04. So they've all done over $1 billion. Now, yes, they've gone down a little bit in each one. But this one, I think, looks better than Dominion. And Dominion, even in 2022, keep in mind that was like right after the COVID shit, still did over $1 billion.
Was there any competition, though? Because I think Fantastic Four is a competition.
No, Fantastic Four comes out 4 weeks later.
Well, I meant like in...
The only competition this movie is going to have really is Superman.
So Superman's the competition? Okay.
Yes. And I don't think that's bad for Jurassic World. I love Superman. I want it to do really well. I really hope that it does. But I don't think Jurassic
DC
World
projects?
cares about Superman at all.
I think Superman
like
should have moved.
If you're looking at the crossover graph for like Jurassic World and Superman, it's a very small portion where it's like a crossover audience. Those like the audience that would do that are the people that go to a movie theater on a Friday or Saturday and they're like, we'll just see what's playing and then we'll get a ticket. Surprisingly, there's a lot of people that do that.
Yeah.
I've been in theaters where people walk in and they're like, what's playing? Let's just go see something.
And then some of them will, like, they have, enough money and enough time in their day to be like, hey.
I'm listening. Just kidding.
What happened?
He roboted out.
Oh. Well, while he's roboting,
What just happened?
there you are. You're back. You like froze for something.
Oh.
You were talking about like seeing movies and then you just froze.
And I was like, I'm listening as a Loki reference.
So, like, what would happen is, like, they would, like, the people that would have enough money and enough time in their day to go and see, like, double features and stuff for back-to-back ones, they would just randomly pick and go, oh, okay, you know what's playing? Well, we'll pick this one and we'll pick this one. It all came through that time. Because I'm not saying it a third time.
We heard you. All right. Let's see. I'm looking at the projected sales.
Cool hat, by the way.
Appreciate it.
Okay, so right now, Jurassic World Rebirth has a projected sales amount totally, or globally, is 800 to 1.2 billion based on box office projections. Forbes predicts, and they're usually pretty good about this, that Jurassic World Rebirth will be the summer box office movie. Probably the biggest box office movie of the summer. Because I think if both this movie and Fantastic Four reach $1 billion, this will still do more than Fantastic Four. Let's see here. So the production budget for the movie was reportedly $265 million. So it's a pretty high budget, but if it does $1 billion, that doesn't matter. They're saying that having Scarlett Johansson and Mahershala Ali with Gareth Edwards attached to it is expected to draw a wider audience. Previous Jurassic World films have all grossed over $1 billion. So they did say that the reason why it goes from 800 to 1.3 is because of the IMAX loss. They're saying this movie may not reach if this movie doesn't reach $1 billion, it will be because of IMAX.
That's basically what I said. Like, the only reason it won't make $1 billion is because of the IMAX.
I mean, maybe.
That's still stupid.
Because IMAX is like $20.
They're talking about like Mahershala Ali being a draw. It's like, I'm not trying to sound like a dick. Like, I like Mahershala Ali, but do enough people know who he is?
I think people that are into like high art type stuff probably know who he is.
I
Because he's done well-known stuff, but he also does a lot of like independent stuff too. So
yeah, I mean, like you have those people that know him from things like True Detective and House of Cards, which are probably like his most well-known things because not as many people watch the Marvel stuff he was in.
Oh, wait, hold on. Did you guys hear about this? I know it's not really related to movies and stuff or whatever, but the whole drama around the Darth Vader AI in Fortnite.
Yeah.
What makes it funny is I think SAG is basically stupid for this because he gave his voice for Darth Vader.
Okay, well, let's tell everybody what happened first before in case anybody's wondering. So about a week ago, Fortnite added in an AI-controlled Darth Vader. I think it was an NPC. I don't think it was a person. I think it's a non-player character.
Yeah.
So it's an NPC in the game that you could interact with as part of like a ongoing promotion. And they actually used James's voice through AI, which, by the way, he signed off on. And the family has agreed to allow them to do this, but SAG-AFTRA is saying that they did not. So SAG-AFTRA has filed an unfair labor practice charge against Epic Games for the use of AI Darth Vader's voice in Fortnite. Let me read what this says here so we can just be assured on everything. We celebrate the right of our members and their estates to control the use of their digital replicas and welcome the use of new technologies to allow new generations to share in the enjoyment of those legacies and renowned roles. However, we must protect our right to bargain terms and conditions around the use of voice that replace the work of our members, including those who had previously did the work of matching Darth Vader's iconic rhythm and tone in video games. Fortnite's signatory company, Llama Productions, chose to replace the work of a human performer with AI technology. Unfortunately, they did so without providing any notice of their intent to do with this and bargaining over appropriate terms. As such, we have filed an unfair labor practice charge with the NLRB against Llama Productions. Here's a copy of the filing. It can be read here. So what do you guys think about this? 3 Go ahead. You were going to say something. So
I was going to basically say, like, for one, he's not a member anymore. He's dead. Like, and second, he signed off his voice for AI for this purpose. They're completely greedy in this situation. I think I think them suing is unfounded in this situation.
Hold on for a second here. Jake, you have any thoughts on this?
I just think it's stupid that they're going down this route, considering he already gave his voice willingly and there wasn't any red tape attached to it. They shouldn't have needed to go any extra mile to try and do something like this, and I think it's pretty sad that they did.
Well, I've got some more details here. It says the union's complaint filed with the National Labor Relations Board accuses law productions of making unilateral changes to employment terms by subsidizing unionized voice actors with AI-generated voices without proper consultation. This move is seen as a significant point of contention in the ongoing debate over AI's role in creative industries. SAG-AFTRA's broader strike against major video game companies, including Epic Games, Activision, and Electronic Arts, centers on securing protections against the unregulated use of AI to replicate performers' voices and likeness without consent or fair compensation. So I think what it looks like here is they wanted an opportunity to be on the table for like their voice actors to get the jobs. But I think the problem is, and let me explain why I think they might have an issue with like how this works long term. And chat, correct me if I'm wrong here. How are they supposed to have a voice actor replicate an AI controlled NPC?
Yeah, it's impossible. There's like so many dialogues.
It's almost like they don't even understand what this was.
Yeah.
So this isn't. Let me make this very clear. Okay, this wasn't a story where there's a script and the person goes in and they record the script, they read their words, and then players are given an option to choose from 3 different things. That isn't what happened here. This was an AI NPC, meaning there was no actual script for anyone to read off of.
Nope.
Yeah,
So it would have been impossible for a voice actor to do this job.
Basically, you have to be live 24/7 and talk to 50 million people at the same time.
There were no player actions that could determine what this voice would or wouldn't say.
Right. So I think the issue here is it would have been impossible to cater to a actual voice actor. Look, I'm not on the side of AI at all. I'm just saying what they are asking here would have been impossible. That's probably why Fortnite didn't bother to even ask anybody, because they couldn't do this job. You would have to have a voice actor sitting on the other side of the screen responding to everybody interacting with it. That's just not a realistic thing.
Yeah, because it's a live game, so you wouldn't just be able to recycle any voice clips. It would have to be like constantly being there and used.
Yeah.
Because it's it's live, it's ongoing. It's not like
well,
one of those.
The problem is, Bob, then that actor would have to give up the rights to their voice, and I'm assuming that all of the voice actors that have already done that have probably signed off on that. That's the only thing I can think of, right? Is that the voice actors in SAG didn't want to do that?
Eric, did you remember the poll?
Oh, 3Dub, you're supposed to remind me. The
Sorry.
fuck? What the fuck, 3Dub? What are you here for otherwise? You're supposed to keep me on track. You're the parent in the room, right? I'm the kid. You're the parent. You're supposed to be keeping me on track.
I was only 9 minutes late.
Thank you, Jasmine, for reminding me. I got completely sidetracked here. Blame 3Dub. It's his fault. Okay, so here you go.
I only have a problem if James Earl Jones didn't sign his voice off. Like, that's my concern.
Well, he already did, though. That's the thing.
Yeah,
the estate isn't. The estate didn't do anything wrong here. They gave permission. It's basically they're going after Llama or Epic, essentially, over this.
Yeah, and basically, I don't have a problem with them using his voice as an AI because he signed off on it, but I would have a problem if he didn't sign off on it and they used him as an AI. Then I would have a problem, and SAG would be justified.
It's not like Christopher Reeve where consent wasn't given, but then they went and did it anyway.
Yeah.
Oh, actually, no, that's Christopher or George Reeves, but George didn't leave behind any family.
All right, one more choice, and then you guys will get to pick in the chat. I was looking at the clock. I'm like, we got 20 minutes left, and there's no poll. No shit. Let's see.
Oh, did you already have options for this jotted down?
No, I just make them up on the fly.
Someone said he didn't sign off for video games, but he signed off for AI, which doesn't need specificness.
No, the estate, they admitted right here that the estate had the right to do this. It's essentially what they're saying here, to break it down in pop culture terms, is the estate said yes, but the companies, the video game company did not give the voice acting actors a chance to come in and audition for the role. That's all they're saying here, is that they didn't fairly do it that way. That's the bare bones of what this is about. But like I said, I think when they go in front of it, if they goes in front of a judge or whatever, they're going to explain that there was no way for a voice actor to do this without signing off to have their voice made into AI. And here's the thing, and this is one of the things they talked about. If you're an actor, especially a voice actor, you do not want to do that.
Right. Because
No.
you can't.
That's something you do not want to do.
Like,
So I don't know if any of them would have actually signed off on that.
Because there's no way to maintain it for a live service game.
Yeah. So we'll see. We'll see. Look, as far as I can tell, guys, they're not saying that the estate did anything wrong. It says here, we celebrate the right of our members and their estates to control the use of their digital replicas and welcome the new use of technologies and allow new generations to share in the enjoyment of those legacies and renowned roles. So that part seems like they're fine. It goes, however, we must protect our right to bargain terms and conditions around the voice that replace the work of our members. So they're basically saying that the estate is legally, they were allowed to do this. It's the company that committed the infraction here. They didn't allow them to come in and audition roles, because apparently there are voice actors that do Vader in video games that
Yes.
have done it for years.
Yes.
So that's what they're saying.
So basically, they want people to come in to be denied so that they can do an AI.
Yeah. Yeah.
That's really
So-
redundant.
Right, Bob. I understand that. I was trying to break it down for people that didn't understand the nuance of what was being said. They want to give real actors an opportunity to do the job, and they don't want AI to take over. And I support that. I don't think AI should replace jobs that people can do. That I agree with. However, realistically, guys, listen, not supporting AI here, not supporting loss of people jobs, unless an actor in the voice acting industry wanted to give over the rights of their voice, they could not have done this job.
Hmm.
This job requires the AI to be able to respond to millions of players at any given time. Let's not have boomer moments, everybody, please. There's no way that would have happened. The voice actor would have to sign over their voice rights. Now, if there was a voice actor that was willing to do that, which I don't know why they would, but if there was, they should have been given the opportunity to do it. I agree with that. So we're going to see what happens with this case.
And I think,
By the way, Darth Vader was saying fucking shit and telling people to like unalive themselves. So it was a complete disaster.
and he also turned on his own player, his own teammates too.
Yes. That's what I'm saying. Like, there was a lot of issues with it because it was AI, which, if anything, people should be smiling because that just proves that AI is not necessarily ready to do all of these things.
Well, it makes him more free in the sense, like, if you anger him, he's going to turn on you.
Well,
'Cause he's
yeah, but I mean,
frustrated.
I was one scene. I'd have to find the clip, but I remember seeing it. It was like they said something, and Darth Vader was like, "Yes, and fuck your mother, fuck her down," or something. I'm like, "What the
Goddamn.
shit?" Yeah, it was pretty rough. But they immediately like patched it. Like apparently within like 5 or 6 hours they patched it. But
I saw a clip that, like, if you call him daddy, he turns on you instantly.
does he really?
Yeah,
Oh my god.
because he lost his kids.
Yeah. I will never ever, and if you followed me on social media, if you listen to me talk at all here, you will know that I don't support taking people's jobs away and giving it to AI. It's not something I support. I think AI can be used as a supplemental tool, and yes, if there are jobs that humans can't do, I think AI should be able to do them. But I don't think you should take jobs away from human people, especially creative jobs.
Right.
So that's the way I feel about it. All right, so here are the options for the poll, you guys, and I will explain them for anybody that's not voted yet. First up, we have MCU versus DCEU battle. Who wins? What I'll do is I will come up with 5 theoretical battles, and then you guys have to talk about which one you think will win, and the chat will decide who wins.
Is this like a power scale battle, or is it like a popularity battle?
We will come up with the terms for each one, so I'll tell you like what it is as the battles happen. Pick your team anime battle. Essentially, people want to be talking about anime forever. So what we would do is I would do like 3 different scenarios, and then you guys could pick the anime characters that you think could win, and then the chat would judge that. The other 2 are Batman suit rankings, and we're talking about all of the live action Batman properties. We'll rank all of those suits. And then we will rank Robins. We're not talking about just live action. We're talking about just the Robins themselves, like Damian Wayne as a character or Tim Drake as a character. We would rank them on our own personal scale. There's no real criteria. It's just whatever you want to.
And I'm guessing like all of these, like ranking ones, we would all present our own lists, like
yes,
top to bottom.
like we do before. Yep.
Okay.
100%. So that's what we're voting on. We'll run that till the end of the stream.
I'm having to like keep up with all the different like poll and bonus streams you're doing. It's like,
well,
okay,
I
how
have
many
a little,
are we doing?
I have a list of them, and whenever I decide to do them, I'll always give you guys a heads up and be like, okay. It's up to the person, because it's like, say for example, Jake has a Robin that he wants to rank or whatever that we don't necessarily rank. He can put him wherever he wants on the list. So, just like if I was doing Batman rankings, yes, future Batman would be on that list too. Fucking
Terry McGinnis.
Yes. I was gonna say Batman Beyond, but yes, that one.
Same thing.
Yeah. No, that's what I'm saying. Like, just essentially be whatever you want it to be. Any of those characters. So.
Okay.
I also know you didn't forget last time, but remember that I'm not in the group chat. So, like, for me, like, you have to do it separate.
Well, I always do it separate for you. Jake's not in the group chat either. I have to send it to him separately.
Oh, okay. Just making sure.
Yeah. I hate that group chat because it's just so chaotic. So I just prefer to send stuff now separately. I thought it'd be a good idea to put everybody together in a group chat, but it just ends up being like chaos. So I decided it's easier to just send it to people individually. And based on some of the stuff I've been hearing lately, maybe that's a good idea that I didn't create a Discord group chat. So just gonna put that out there. It's the reason why I always say I don't have a Discord because it's too chaotic, and now I
deleted my
why.
Discord.
Did you really?
Yeah, I can't even like.
Wait, like your actual Discord account, or did you have a Discord?
I had an actual Discord account and deleted it.
Oh, I thought you meant like your own, like a 3Dub like Discord channel.
Yeah, I had a channel. And
did you?
Deleted it. Yep.
By the way,
for a server.
Did you guys see? Hold on. What is this? Okay, so Tomb Raider, right? Did you see the picture of Sophie Turner before I reveal this?
Yes.
No.
Yes.
So let me just say, I can't wait to see what the reaction is going to be.
I saw this.
But I saw this and I was like, holy shit. It didn't even look like her.
No, it doesn't.
Here we go. I was like, what the fuck has she been doing?
Oh, wow.
That X-Men tattoo is kind of hot, though.
It is. But she's been working out. Look at this.
Yeah.
Dang, that doesn't even look like her now.
Oof.
Where did
I saw that picture. I was like,
I gotta look at a previous picture because I'm Sophie.
Hold on, let me find a picture of her. Hold on.
She was Jean Grey.
Yes.
Yeah, she doesn't look like Jean Grey.
She's
anymore.
also from Game of Thrones.
Arya Stark.
Let me see. I'm trying to find a picture of her where you can see what. Like, okay, so here we go. This is a picture of her. Hold on.
Oh my God! I just realized something.
What?
Her, so I was thinking back to her being Jean. Her debut movie as Jean is 10 years old next year.
Really?
Yeah, X-Men Apocalypse is 10 next year.
So, well, look, Chuds will freak out. There's no boob. Well, to be fair, I mean, she never was like super busty, but
no.
But look, like this over here, like the way she looks. Let me remind you. This was her a few years back, 2018 era, to now.
She has the good X genes, I guess.
I guess. She left Joe Jonas and got ripped. What? Okay, so just in general, what are we thinking about this new Tomb Raider thing? Are we happy about it? Not happy about it?
I kind of wanted to see the sequel of the other one, but yeah.
Let's see.
Figure I'll just wait to see.
I kind of wanted to see the sequel to the one that we got before we got a new one, but at the same time, I guess I'll just roll with it.
So, see, I'm just all the details. Also, Phoebe Waller-Bridge is the executive producer.
Yep.
I didn't know she was even doing this. It's on Amazon. Its production is Is it happening right now? I thought it said early this year. So I guess it has to be happening, right?
I believe it's happening currently, yes. Let me look.
Yeah. It's crazy.
True.
Very crazy. The Tomb Raider cartoon was on Netflix, I think. Right?
Tomb Raider, the Amazon Prime Video Tomb Raider is not currently in production.
So they're still in pre-production then.
Right.
Okay. Oh, okay. So I want to point this out, right? We talked about this before about like paid models versus ad-supported models. And I said that ad-supported models make a lot more money. And people were like, no, they don't. I'm like, yes, they do.
That's easy to figure that out.
Ad-supported tiers are still more profitable than subscription tiers.
Yeah, because they're so like frequent. They're coming in all the time.
All right. Like, okay. How much do we have? 7-8 minutes left. I'm going to let my cat in before we end the stream because she's at the door meowing. So hold on. She'll probably jump up here and make a mess of everything.
Wait, did I say Arya Stark on the Game of Thrones thing? Sorry. I said the wrong character. Whoops.
All right.
She didn't destroy everything in the room.
Not yet, but here she comes.
Oh,
Wow,
you
you
know what they say about
predicted.
black cats.
Yeah, she's butthole in the camera. Come on. We're not trying to get in trouble here with YouTube.
Only cats.
Yeah, exactly. Only cats. That's hilarious. Okay, here we go. Do you want to go back that way? There we go. She's a desk cat. She's so tiny. And she's like not a kitten. She's a cat, but she's just a small cat. So yeah, I said this before that like ad-supported tiers make a lot more money than subscription models, which is why when people buy Roku TVs and they get like Tubi or the Roku channel or something where you have to watch ads, they actually have more money per like viewing cycle than a subscription tier because you're getting ads on every single thing you watch instead of like paying one price for everything.
Yeah, and like, the people that actually pay for those subscription services are kind of few and far in between that.
Yes. So it's just interesting to me that people still don't understand. This is why Netflix and Hulu and Disney Plus and a lot of these companies have ad-supported tiers. If you're somebody that's paying for the ad-supported tier, you're actually giving the company more money than someone that pays for the slightly more expensive no-ad tier.
Yeah, because, you might think that it's more expensive at that one purchase, but you're actively feeding more into it, like the more you go along.
Yeah, 100%. So like when people are talking about why YouTube is pushing like ad blocking so hard is because they make like when you pay for YouTube Premium or you're supporting a creator with like a subscription or something, yes, YouTube gets a little bit of all of that, but they make far more money off of ads than they do off of anything else.
Yeah, that shouldn't be like a revolutionary thing.
Yeah.
They still haven't caught me yet.
People are trying. They're doing everything they can. I've seen the post about it.
I have like 5 different ad blockers, so if one goes out, the other one takes over.
I did see some people complaining. Chat, I'm curious what you guys think, right? And you guys can chime in too. No, complaining about people on YouTube that do really long promotional ads in their videos. Like if I say, for example, I got an opportunity to promote something in my videos and I did it. If I did a 15
just videos here, right? Not live streams.
Yeah, just videos. Like if I pre-record a video, we'll use G Fuel as an example. If I had G Fuel as a sponsor and I took like 20 seconds to promote G Fuel, that's an ad that somebody who pays for premium can't skip because it's part of a sponsorship with the guy or girl or whoever is on the channel.
Right.
So if that person is promoting something and you can't skip it, a lot of people complain that YouTube Premium doesn't account for that. And I'm like, well, they can't really. I mean, unless they were using the algorithm to detect ads in the video, and then you could only people that pay for premium could skip that ad, but then that takes revenue away from the person who's making the video, who's getting paid to put that promo in their video.
I got really
So-
annoyed back in the day when there was like 3-minute ad that you couldn't skip after 1 minute. I'm like, come on.
There's been a lot of issues with that. I will say this though, if you go onto the YouTube subreddit, just the regular YouTube subreddit, there's so many pictures of inappropriate ads running on YouTube. I don't know if you guys have seen that or not, but like straight up just adult
Not
content.
me.
Well, no,
Yeah.
not you.
There's been a myriad of it out there, and it makes you wonder. Like, not only on YouTube, but I'm seeing that a lot on TikTok too. And I'm like, how is this allowed?
Yeah. I had one thing saved for Pagey, but he didn't come in. It was about the Smurfs movie, so I'll save that for next time.
I even
Oh.
have a quiz for him.
Very quickly, Lilo and Stitch is actually only cost $100 million to make. I don't know if you guys saw that or not.
Mm-hmm.
Oh wow!
$100 million. So that movie is going to make so much money for Disney.
Well, apparently there's no Captain Gantu.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
I did hear that.
Interesting. But I've heard
I
the
wish I
reviews are
didn't hear
good.
that.
Actually, you know what? Let's look. I think is it on Rotten Tomatoes? I think the embargo lifted.
I wish I didn't hear anything about the early screenings. I'm like, come on, shut up.
Why are spoilers out there already of it?
Well, look, like there's no Captain Gantu. I'm like, I kind of want to see that for myself.
Yeah. Okay, so this is where we're at. 75% critic reviews of 59 on there. Which, by the way, this is that one time. This is one of the few times where I don't think this is going to matter at all. Like, the kids are going to go see this whether critics love it or not. So it's kind of a pointless exercise. But because remember what they said about like some of the other kids' movies.
Yeah,
Trying to boycott it.
you know, they should have waited a month or so. They should have waited a year and then an extra month, because then they could have released it on 6/6.
Good one.
They should have waited. That would have been the best time.
I mean, let's just take a look over here. I mean, this movie has made tons of money for Warner Brothers, and it's got 47% critical.
Yeah, and
Reception.
it's
So-
caused riots in theaters.
Yeah. Yeah. So.
Stitch 2, 626.
What was I going to say? I thought there was something else I was going to mention, but I don't think so now. Hold on, where's it at? I think that's it for now. Yeah, I think we'll wrap it up there. And let me close all this out here.
I wonder if it's going to be like another variation of like Stitch has a glitch. Or was it just Stitch 2? Yeah, there was Stitch 2 and then there was Stitch. I think Stitch came before Stitch 2.
So apparently I can turn off the chat in the corner. Do you guys like the chat in the corner? Like, I know that you guys here
I like
it
it.
or
I like
whatever.
it. I like it.
I wonder if the actual chat likes it. Like, do you guys like it? I will leave it turned on if you like it. Let me know one way or the other. All right, let's see what everybody picked on the poll.
I
here.
feel like the Batman costumes won. I'm just guessing that.
So, there you go. In poll. Let's see what it gave us here.
I'm not even looking at the thing, by the way. I just threw that out there as a guess.
No, actually, the Batman suits didn't even come close.
Oh, wow.
It was overwhelmingly the MCU versus DCEU battle. Who wins?
Okay, yeah, that one actually makes sense. That wouldn't make sense.
So what I'll do is I will create a slideshow of 5 different hypothetical battles, and then you guys and the chat can argue about who would win on the battles. And we will do that on Thursday. So that will be a Thursday night topic. I will
All right.
lock that in for Thursday. So there's no prep time for that, but let me write it into my notes here. That one doesn't require prep time. You just have to be prepared to argue which person can win.
And I'm guessing we don't know the lineups ahead of time.
No, because I just made it up, so I don't even know the lineups yet.
Fair.
So, all right, here we go. All right. All right. So what will happen is while we're sitting here, I'll just pull up a slide, right? And it'll be like one character on one side, another character on the other. They verse each other. I'll set a timer for like 10 minutes. And at the end of the 10 minutes, we'll stop arguing and then we'll do a poll. And the poll will determine who the winner is.
Cool.
So, Ethan says, Eric, and I know what 3Dub is going to say, but let me read it out anyway. Eric, you should continue retro reviews of Smallville. I'm currently going through the whole series now. I don't even know if after review I could just say 3Dub, what episode does this happen on? And he would be like, this is the number, this is the season, this is the year, these were the characters.
This is what shirt they were wearing.
Probably. How
Okay,
often?
if you go with shoes, I can't tell because they like cut off at the stomach. Just saying.
How many times does Clark not wear his classic colors? Because I know they wear it the whole season.
He actually, when he starts like wearing black as the suit, I mean that's pretty much when he starts.
That's the end of the season, the series, though, isn't it?
Yep. But like as Clark Kent, he doesn't really change that.
Did you hear about the castings for Avatar Season 2, Eric? No, I have not. I did see something about it, but we'll save that for Thursday because we're not going to have time to go through that tonight.
And what's funny is his truck is
Remind
also
me on Thursday.
What's funny is his truck colors are also like there was a red truck that blew up. There was a blue truck that flipped. So he keeps the color scheme of Superman even with his trucks.
That's crazy. Cameron says, have you seen the post that said we might see John Kent training like Gohan to overcome kryptonite?
In what?
Yeah, in what?
In what?
What? John Kent training like Gohan to overcome kryptonite? It can't be in the Superman movie.
Is he talking? And I doubt it would be in My Adventures with Superman.
In the comics, okay.
Oh, comics. Okay,
That makes sense. That makes sense.
I was like, wait, what?
Yeah. Gohan got treated so poorly.
Yeah.
Especially
Yes.
during the Majin Buu arc. Like, I just don't even want to think about that. Like,
No.
It started then. I mean, it actually started before that, but that was the one where he made a sacrifice, and it's like, why? Why did you do this?
I have
At
probably
the 200
take.
at the 200th episode, they started to treat Gohan badly.
Yeah. So Serenity here with a $5 super chat. Thank you, Serenity. Says Sophie's Amazon Tomb Raider show was reportedly canceled over a month ago.
No,
Really?
that's not true.
Let me see.
Because I just looked it up and it says that there were rumors that it was canceled, and it says that
Super Saiyan Man. Really hated that. They made him a joke.
Is that like a Twitter thing? Maybe somebody scooping the wrong thing.
Ethan says, 3Dub, what's your favorite Smallville season?
What did they cancel?
I mean, it says here that there had been reports of it being canceled, but nothing has been like officially renounced.
So yeah, that's my thing, is that like nothing has been officially released.
Season 8, I believe.
Let's see here.
Basically, I like
It says,
anything with
as of
Alana.
April 2025, multiple anonymous sources report that the series is effectively dead, with no official confirmation from Amazon. So
not one of those sources was named.
no, but like Serenity's saying, it is scoopers and bloggers and stuff. So until Amazon says something, I'm just going to assume that they're still going to do it. They're just not doing it right this second.
Yeah.
Because to be fair, they have access to that IP. They just do it. Why would you not do it?
Yeah.
I don't know. Okay, last question here. Well, actually, you already answered, Ethan. Answer this one right here.
Who's hotter in Smallville, Lana? Lois. I'm a full-on Clois fan.
Oh, well, there we go.
You were just talking about all like the DBZ stuff, Eric. It's like I've got probably the hottest DBZ take out of anybody.
All right, well, tell us, what is your hottest DBZ take?
So not in terms of power scaling, because I know this is obviously not the case, but in terms of characters and just the way that they're done, Yamcha is the top 3.
As soon as, like, for some reason in my mind, I was like, Yamcha's going to be the name that he drops or whatever. Everybody says that early on he looked just like Goku with longer hair.
And what's funny is he's voiced by Piccolo and Vegeta, too.
Yeah, I knew that part.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Actually met the original voice of Vegeta a few months ago.
Oh.
Brian Drummond. Yeah, because
Oh.
Christopher Sabat didn't do it first. He's just the most well known.
The most well-known one, yeah.
Yeah.
He's at all the conventions I go to, all of them, every single one. He's very.
He's my favorite
active.
Zorro too.
Oh, really?
Yeah, he was the only Zorro.
Okay, well there we go.
Well, there's Antonio Banderas, but that's not the Zorro I was talking about.
He's still.
All right, well, we're going to get out of here. I'll be back on Thursday. So, oh, wow. Meister says Yamcha's a joke. Wow. Shots fired.
If I had a nickel for every time I heard that, I could retire.
Wolfang Fist!
Oh, my gosh. Anyway, I will see everybody later. I'll be live on Thursday with the next Nocturnal Nerdcast. Tomorrow, there is a showcast, but I think it's really... Hold on. I don't know what time it is. I know they're doing it earlier in the day. So let me see if I'm actually going to be there or not. Because it is on my channel, already scheduled, but 2:30 p.m. my time. I might be there tomorrow. I might be there. If not, you won't see it on my channel. So if I'm not there, it won't even show up in my channel. So anyway, everybody have a great night. Thank you for all the super chats and the channel support. Thank you, StreamYard, for adding that little chat box in the corner. That's amazing. I like it a lot, so I'm going to leave it up for now. And if you're watching this on playback, sorry that the trailer got removed. I'm pretty sure one of the things we watched will get pulled out. Actually, the only thing we watched was Jurassic World, so that might get pulled out.
Yeah.
Anyway, all right, everybody have a great night. Thank you, Jake, for showing up. Thank you, 3Dub, for hanging out. And we'll see everyone next time. Take care.